All right. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another day of Be Agile Scrum. Anyone here for the first time join in? Anyone here for the first time? Okay. I believe there is none for the first time. All right. So my another question is that how many of you could explore any tool last time?
I did some Jira and Trello.
Jira and Trello. Thank you so much, Ashi.
Mhm.
Anyone else?
Yes, I did Sir Trello and looked some session was going on with my spouse on Agile.
All right.
I
Thank you
did
so
with
much.
Trello and Jira.
Trello and Jira. All right. Thank you, Asif. Anyone else who tried something, some tools to explore?
Trello, but I didn't get Azure DevOps. I just
Okay.
opened it and logged in, but I didn't understand Azure DevOps at all.
Okay. Okay. No problem. Thank you so much, Monica. Wonderful effort, everyone. So
I
appreciate
did
that.
Trello.
Sahita did Trello. Anyone else did something? Okay, so if you are considering that whatever the assignments are coming in your way is of no use, trust me, if you start now, you will see its impact later. But anyways, who did try or who thought that you would try later, thank you so much. Please do so, complete your trial, and it is important for you. Let's begin with another question, very important as a reminder to you. Do you all remember why did you join over here this track with training?
Yes, for job
Yes.
placement.
For job placements, that's totally right. Let's begin to understand not only the training is going to help you, but to get in this game, there is something which requires the discipline, and that discipline comes with certain ground rules that I will let you go through. And in fact, every batch uh, agrees with this. We are going to go through that as a reminder. Okay. So there are 6 code of honor we have to agree upon. The very first one is showing up live. All right. Why we need to show up live? Why need to practice that? We need to show up. Yeah, we need to show up live means we need to be on time, remain punctual, and highly committed. Why? Because this agile is made up of all the agile is made up of all the ceremonies you will experience in agile world, and that's the reason you need to practice it now. Why you need to practice this over here? So that you can replicate this habit once you get placed. And there is one saying that goes along with it. That's the universal law that says that how you do anything is how you do everything. And the second one says that when you are starting this training, just don't be the student, be the full stack student, means who does all the assignment, do self-research, and repeat whatever you have learned. So kindly do follow that. And third one says that, take the full responsibility of your success as well as your failure. Why failure? Because failure will become the trail for the success. Because of some reason, if you happen to attract failure, where you find that you are not at all succeeding, by introspection, you may correct the cause behind it and bounce back towards the success. That's the reason um, failure is the trail for the success, and you can attract success by following all the code of honors. The fourth one says that to do so, it requires a package mindset, which comprises of having learning mindset, continued positive mindset. The more continued positive mindset you will have, you will experience you going complaint free and loading with more gratitude. And to do so, you need to practice your day, start your day with the increased level of receptivity. For that, whoever have asked me, for the 30 days challenge I gave you in a form of audio track, uh, which uh, which mean to ask you to listen to it every single day for 20 minutes. Even though it is 40 minutes long, you need to put it in 2x mode so that you can complete it within 2x mode and see and experience how your days and day are changing every single time. And the second one is that while you are doing so, you are getting into the deep learning. While you are getting into deep learning, you must remember the golden quadrant of learning. It says that when you are getting into deep learning, start the journey of deep learning with the declaration with anchor, and then get into deep learning. And once you get into deep learning, remember to draw whatever you have learned on a piece of paper using pen, and then summarizes. How you can summarize it? You can summarize within 90 seconds of video, flaunting the notes you have drawn using pen or pencil on a piece of paper, and then explain that you are going to explain that in that 60 or 90 seconds of video. Explain it in a way that even 5 years old can understand. And trust me, once you will practice it, once you will continue doing it, you will start experiencing that you are becoming expert in this subject. So this is for you as a weapon you can use to gain place as soon as possible, as a confident subject matter expert. Having said so, are you all ready for the quick declaration with anchor?
Yes.
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 How we are
Yes.
going to do this? We are going to do this at the count of 3. You are going to put the anchor. Anchor is nothing but it is going to be body movement. Body movement is nothing but is going to be self-hi-fi, that is the clap. So how you are going to do so? So at the count of 3, you will clap along with me and repeat after me what is selected in blue. Ready, everyone? Say yes.
Yes.
One more time. Thank you so much.
Yes.
So 1, 2, 3, and clap and say, I am a quick learner.
I'm a quick
I'm a quick learner.
What others can learn and master,
What
others
others
can learn and master.
I too can do that.
I too can do that.
One more time, anchor. 1, 2, 3, and clap and say, because I'm an awesome learner.
Because I'm
an
an
awesome
learner.
Today's learning is going to be
Today's learning is going to be
super duper easy to me.
super duper easy to me.
Exactly, it is going to be, trust me, experience this. But remember, the last code of honor says that if you are already earning, then and learning, be the giver on the path of learning. It means that once for what you need to give away, you need to give first your ego away. If you think you are already learning, what happens? Some minute experiences and learning will stop if we don't tend to put our ego away aside. It means that it will keep you more spiritually grounded, means your happiness level will increase on the path of growth once you will keep your ego away, and you will sense that your learning horizon is increasing because of that. And when it is happening, remember, you are tending towards the new earning. In case you are already earning, then have an intent of charity at least 5% or 10% once you are already earning, or once you get placed to start earning. By doing so, what you are going to attract? So you are going to attract more income. Why? Because once you give, you grow, and once you receive, you may survive. And I'm here, I'm sure that you are not here for survival, but to grow. And just don't give away 5 or 10% of your income wherever you believe in. It could be any cause, any social cause, or towards the temple, churches, or mosque, wherever you believe in, that you need to give away a portion of few percentage of your earning. Kindly do so, and continue to see the impact of the explosion towards your income is going to be in a good way. I want each one of you to experience it, and for that, just don't give away for the sake of growing, because there is one universal law that says that what goes around comes around. And also give away to inspire others in your surrounding. And while you are doing so, appreciate what you are doing, what others are doing for you, and even what does not happen to you, that is because it is preparing for you for your tomorrow. And there is another universal law with this, says that what you appreciate appreciates you back. Having said so, I'm not going through this Sunday, Monday, Saturday routine, how you need to get yourself involved every single day. Just a quick message that remember to attend RRP session. Before we get into the subject, let me ask you this question one more time. Anyone here for the first time? Okay, the silence is again.
No, I'm here. Yeah. Yeah. Hi, Gaurav. I'm new here.
Okay, Mamta, welcome to Be Agile Scrum Track. Mamta, we would love to know from you
Thank
that
you.
from where you are connecting, what is your educational background? I mean, have you ever worked into IT, and what is your one intention before starting the track today? Mamta, over to you. Kindly introduce.
Yeah. In education wise, I'm master degree in computer applications, and yeah, I worked as a software developer and software tester. But yeah, just due to kids and the husband was moving here and there, so I was with him every time. So now kids grown up, and again I want to start my career. So I also tried for the testing part, but there I felt that lots of coding things came in automation testing. So after I saw lots of things and I did Googling and all these things, then I thought that, okay, the agile is good. So I move. A Scrum Master role is better. And even in starting time, I also worked little bit as a BA. So I think I can pursue in this field.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Mamta, for sharing that. Looking
Thank
forward
you.
for you to get placed very, very soon once you complete this track. So for your sake, what I am going to do is that I am going to go through along with everyone how you are going to get engaged every single day. So listen very carefully, everyone. And meanwhile, while I'm explaining this, I request you all to just type in the chat window, welcome, Mamta. Thank you so much. So Sunday is going to be technical session for you where we will be meeting at 9:30 p.m. EST. Me and Prerna will be your trainer over here. Monday, whatever you learn on Sunday, kindly summarize it in a video form, place it into WhatsApp. There is reason behind it. You will be preparing small videos because that will be preparing you for the recruiters to pick you up for the first vendor interview. On Tuesday, you need to attend two sessions. That is one technical session along with us, 9:30 p.m. EST. I'll be sending, or Prerna will be sending the link for this into WhatsApp group. Second one is reference ready resume preparation are conducted by HRs and Dev sir. So what you need to do is that you need to attend this. Mostly it happens around, 2 p.m. or 7 p.m. During EST time. And why you need to attain this, even if may sound that it is repeatable, even if it is repeatable, it creates your visibility. More visibility it creates, more credibility it brings to you, and more credibility you gain, it enhances your marketability in front of recruiters. Wednesday, you will complete a summary assignment. The summary assignments are called as unsaid assignment. Apart from few assignment we will be asking you to do, those are called said assignment. All right, so that you will be doing on Wednesday. And Thursday, RRP session you must go through one more time in the week with the same intent. Even if it may sound repeatable for you, then Friday is going to be research or repeat whatever you have learned, because whatever you have learned may not sound sufficient to you. You do your self research and complete some assignment it is pending, come back with some questions, we will give you its answer. Saturday you can choose to relax, and we are going to meet again on Sunday at 9:30 p.m. EST. Hope this is clear to each one of you as a reminder, and for those who joined here for the first time. So with this, I have a question only for Mamta. Mamta, did you happen to go through the previous recording by any chance, last three recordings?
No, Dev.
Okay. Okay, no problem. So we can take this advantage. You can take this advantage because you are from background. It will be sounding your background from computer itself. So, and you have already work experience. This is going to be a bit easy for you to understand today. So, and we will be sharing the recording after the session, and you can leverage time till the next meeting or next training to come back and use those recording to listen for your own self. So I'm going to share my screen, what we are going to learn today. So yes, quickly, we are starting benefits of Scrum. I believe everyone knows that what is Scrum, what is Agile. Are you clear with Agile and Scrum by now? A Scrum as a part of Agile. Agile itself is a methodology. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Yes.
Thank you so much. So this is what we have learned earlier. So what we are going to do is that we are going to get started with benefits of Scrum. Okay.
Mummy చదువుకుంటుంది కదా.
Okay. So in case you are not participating, what you can do is that you can keep yourself on mute until I request you to come and speak up. All right.
No, I think we
So
finished benefits.
yes, that's right. We have finished the slide. We are moving to the next one. Okay. So the next one is benefits of Agile more in detail. So benefits for whom? Agile is going to benefit for customers, development team, Scrum Masters, and few more are to come. So we'll see one by one how it is going to benefit to customer. So may I have one volunteer, please, who can read this section of the customer?
I'll do that.
Yeah, please go ahead.
More responsive to request,
Mhm,
high value features,
mhm.
deliver more quickly and short cycles.
Yes. So how it is going to benefit to customer? Because you will see more engagement of the customer, and that is going to be more frequent. High value features means high priority, which is most needed for customer. As I told you earlier, in the Scrum world or in Agile world, what we are doing, we are taking one bigger requirement, cutting them down or slicing them down into the small pieces, right? And thereby it becomes the small requirement, and based on the highest value, means highest priority need, we are putting at first, and we continue to deliver that. Is that clear to everyone?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
to that we are going to call it as high value features. And because we are using sprint, what we are using?
Print.
Sprint is nothing but the time duration, right?
Mhm.
So certain time duration defined, and preset between vendors and customer. We happen to choose that these defined span of time, we are continuously delivering small pieces of requirement to the customer, and that's the reason it is here delivered more quickly with short cycle. And those short cycle are nothing but the sprint. Now you have seen so far how customers are getting benefited out of it. Let's move to development team and see how it is beneficial for development team. So I need one volunteer.
I can go, sir.
Yes, go ahead.
Enjoy development teams, enjoy development work. Work is valued and used, reduced non-productive work.
All right. Thank you so much, Pooja. So how it is going to be beneficial, and how it is generally beneficial for development team? Because it is small period and small span of time, developers are developing something and delivering something. For this small span of time, they also enjoy their development work. Okay. Even their work becomes visible, and it is assessed, evaluated, and analyzed by others and by the seniors. Their work is more valued then. Okay. And because there is always short span of delivery in the short span of time, there are very less chances they become non-productive, because their focus is that very small time are left, they need to focus on continuous delivery. And that's how this is going to, or these are generally useful. Agile is generally useful for development team as well. Development team consists of who all? Who can tell me?
What is that?
Development team consists of what? Who all are there in the development team?
Developers.
Okay.
Developers,
Developers. Anyone else?
Developers, tester, and
Testers.
the Scrum Master.
Scrum Master.
And the
Brilliant. Okay, that's right.
product one.
Product owner,
Product-
Scrum Master, developer,
Yeah.
sir.
So barring a product owner, rest of all you said are the part of development team. When you will include product owner as well, it is called as Scrum team. Okay, so cool. Let's move to understand Scrum Master. I need one volunteer who can read about the benefits for Agile to Scrum Master. Who can?
I can do that.
Please go ahead, Desdemona.
Scrum Master. Planning task level, tracking in daily meetings, tremendous awareness of project state status, catching and addressing issues quickly.
Awesome. Thank you so much for reading this out. Yes, Scrum Master is the person to go with, and because his job is to facilitate the continuous delivery for that project in a timely fashion. He has to be on toes when it comes to planning and tracking every single meeting, because when he is facilitator through meetings, he makes sure that all the problems are resolved, all the issues are solved. Okay, and yes, as it is written, this particular term, tremendous awareness of project state and status, he has to be on top of the all color or all go or say all labels of project state or status, where exactly project is right now, how much delivery has happened, how much is pending, and in case something is pending, when it is going to get started. So he has to be top of everything, and he is responsible to product owner. In case product owner along with him is not aware of these all details, Scrum Master is the person to whom product owner will come for these check. Is it clear to everyone? Yeah? Did you hear me out? Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, so as I said, he is the person to go with, and he is responsible to resolve and make sure he facilitate all the resolution of the issues occurred. Having said so, let's move towards the next few team to whom these Agile are going to get benefited to. So 3 names we are seeing here, how it is going to get benefited for vendors, product owners, PMOs, and C-level executive. For vendors, I want someone to read out as a volunteer who is going to be.
I can do
I
it.
can do that.
Okay, Ashi, go ahead, please, and then Harshita.
Vendor.
Yeah.
Focused development on the high value features, increased efficiency, reduced wastage, and decreased overhead.
Yeah, thank you so much for reading this out. So yes, the for vendor also, this is going to be a work of focus, because in front of them also high value feature has to be developed first, because that is the key priority for the customer. When I say high value, it means exactly first is the demand of few features what customer is going to entertain and looking up to it to start using it as soon as possible. And because of this, even vendors have to increase their efficiency, and it becomes more visible that it has been increased. And when it comes to reduce wastage of time, wastage of non-productive hour, wastage of unnecessary line of codes, and because of these all, it decreases the overhead, and it becomes easy for client to handle their vendors as well, because they know where they are right now, at what position when it comes to overall contribution into the project by vendors. Okay, I want someone, Harshita, yes, you can read out product owner.
Product owner, development work aligns with customer needs, frequent opportunities to reprioritize work, maximum delivery of value.
Yeah, thank you so much for reading this out. Yes, when it comes to product owner, as he is the key person, he is the point of center for the entire project. He is the mediator between customer as well as the stakeholder, along with their team, the vendors, and he has to make sure that all the development work is getting aligned with what customer is seeking. Okay, and he has to be top of it. And in case any changes are recommended or any new demand is coming, he is the person who is responsible to giving heads up to their team, okay, where the entire scrum team or development team is sitting or helping him as a product owner to deliver the product or project to the customer. Okay, and then why what happens then, product owner, because he is top of all the requirement and changes, because of it he will continue to participate in some meeting where he will continue to inform and update to the team based on what customer was seeking, how it has been changing, or in case it is changing, how it is impacting overall time duration or overall features or overall development for the team, and for what customer is expecting and anticipating the same. Okay, and because this is going to happen, his focus area is delivery on the maximum value. Okay, so this is what product owner is also getting benefited, and benefits of agile to product owner is when it comes to using agile. Now I want one more volunteer to read the last row. Who can
I
read
can
that?
do it.
Yeah, please go ahead, Monica.
PMOs and C-level executive, high visibility of daily project development, adjust strategies based on hard information, plan effectively with less speculation.
Yeah, thank you so much for reading this out. Yes, when it comes to PMOs, means uh, project management team, where all the product owners and this is the team where all the higher authorities are sitting. They have the high level of visibility in which project what is going on, and where how the products are heading, how products or projects are heading. So they have the complete visibility, and they anticipate how it is going to impact even the cash flow in the organization. And based on that, they decide that how much investment will go in the various other department, including sales and marketing. So that's the reason they have to keep an eye on every product and every project, how it is moving ahead towards the delivery, and accordingly they will adjust the strategies for the overall information they have come across for every individual project. So when it comes to hard information, it means they are aware what had been the promises, what all the promises have been already fulfilled. In case some delay have happened, what are the reason behind it, so that they are aware if any action has to be taken from management level or not. Okay, and then accordingly they will continue to plan, if, with effectiveness, if at all any changes required at the organization level, at the project level, or at the team level. So these are the benefits for these 6 pillars we have seen so far. So let's move and learn about some manifesto. So Prerna, you're there? Can you take this slide if you're there?
Yes, Gaurav, very much. So
Okay.
good evening, all of you, and welcome, Mamta, to this new batch. And really glad to know that you do have a sound background, and you have been there in the industry. So that will definitely help you, and along with you, our entire batch could make take benefit of your earlier experience, if any. So feel free to ask any questions. And again, as Gaurav has mentioned, please do rewatch the earlier videos. That will really give you a good brush up, so you would know how far we have come, what all we covered. And in case you have any doubts, you can definitely reach out to us. Okay, and this is for everyone. So in case I can see some of you are unable to attend any sessions, so please rewatch the videos so that you have that connectivity of all the topics. Okay, yeah, so
Yes,
that,
sure, Prerna. Thank you.
yeah, most welcome. So this is for everyone because Sunday or whatnot, So there are, even today also I see some of the people missing, but that's fine. So, and nowadays we're really getting into the deep dive sessions or the crux of the topics, if I have to call. So, agile values or principles or manifesto. These are like the stepping stone of these topics. Okay, so once you all get the clarity of this or understanding of these topics, half of the work is done. So you know what agile stands for. You understand what is agile, and on that basis later on you can very well work in an organization or understand when people are talking about agile. So here we have 4 values and 12 principles for agile. Okay, so I just want 4 different people to read these 4 different manifestos. Yeah,
I'll
please
do
go
the
ahead.
first one.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Individuals and interactions over processes and tools.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Nirmal. Next.
I'll do that.
Working software over comprehensive documentation.
Great. Next.
Customer collaboration over contract negotiation.
Thank you. Thank you, Mahendra. Next.
Responding to change over following a plan.
Okay, great. So if I may ask, these lines or these manifestos are mentioned in proper English and they do make some sense, right? As in, you get some understanding when you read these sentences. Now we'll try to understand what they mean from agile point of view. Okay, Gaurav, can you please go to the next slide, please? Yeah, Gaurav, are you there? We can go to next slide. I'll just explain them.
Okay, so I think manifesto was done. So
yeah, Prerna, we have done this.
Yeah,
I was thinking
done
that I have taken, but I was wondering this batch or another batch.
No,
Yes.
you only did this one.
all right,
Yes.
no worries. So what I'm going to do, because we have covered Agile Manifesto, it once again came to reiterate. We have also seen Agile Principle. Let's move to the next slide. So just wait a second. Let me bring those slides.
Yep. So this
We'll
is
have to
also very
start
interesting.
those. Yeah.
Yes. So this is also very interesting and one of my favorite topics because when you learn this, you really understand, when tomorrow you'll be working as one of the team member, it can be a Scrum Master or a BA or maybe a product owner soon. As a team member, you should know what are your responsibilities, what is expected out of you and how the entire process works. So here, if you see, there are different colors given to different roles, and there are 3 prominent roles. Okay, categorized as one is a product owner. Okay, who kind of owns the entire product or project or whatever you call it. So he is one of the person with highest authority and decision making power, if I have to call it. And then we have 1 second. Yeah. So then we have our Scrum Master, who is the whole and soul of the entire process, who is like a bridge between the product owner and the development team, who ensures that everything is taken care of. There is no miscommunication amongst the team and amongst the product owner and the development team. So he is the missing link within the team, if I have to call it. And his work is to ensure that the entire Scrum process runs smoothly without any, I would say, impediments or without any hampering of the work. And last but not the least, as in, though we are mentioning them at the last, but this is the integral part of the team, the Scrum team or the development team. They are called both the ways. Development team doesn't mean there are only developers. It's a name, a pseudo code given to that. development team comprises of everyone who is working towards the completion of the project. Okay. Then you may ask, how many people are there or who all are there in development team? So in development team, we have everyone, every, I would say, team member that is required to complete the project. Starting with definitely developers, we can have multiple developers depending on the technology that we are working on. We have business analysts, that is where your role comes in. So some of you are, or mostly all of you may be in this team in future very soon. Then we have testers, then we have architects, all the entire blend of different resources is there. And but then in all, this team is called as development team. Okay, so don't have this notion that because it is called as development team, that's why there are only developers. No, we have testers, we have BA, we have specialists, everyone who is required for the project is there in the development team. Makes sense? Any doubt in this? This is just a basic introduction. We will go into deep dive soon. But yeah, any clarity required in this?
Product owner is one, and Scrum Master is one, and development team are a couple of people.
Absolutely right. That's why we have this pictorial way. So these are the one people, dedicatedly, as in Scrum Master is generally dedicated for this entire project or product. Development team, there are a couple of people depending on the I would say intensity of the project or overall requirement of the project. And then yes, we have the whole and soul, or the main decision maker, if I have to call it, that's the product owner. And sometimes a product owner may have multiple projects or products, but that depends on company to company and project to project.
Prerna,
So
every company has only one business analysis, like a Scrum Master?
Generally, a Scrum Master is dedicated for one project, a product. Generally, I'm saying, because you know why? Their involvement is very high in a project. Like they are there for every meeting, every discussion. So it becomes strenuous on a person to put them in multiple projects. Generally, I'm saying it's not a hard and fast rule, but in most of the organizations where I worked in Agile, we always had a dedicated Scrum Master, or I kind of worked as an acting Scrum Master. So because the intensity and delivery timeline is so strict, you have 4 weeks or 12 weeks or 8 weeks, you really cannot have that much time for other project also most of the times, because their involvement is very high. So generally, I'm saying generally, okay, there might be a scenario they might work for a couple of projects, but that is very unlikely, because sharing their 8 hours a day into multiple projects will be tough for them. So yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, welcome. Can we move to the next slide, please?
Yes.
Yes, yeah. So here, if you see, we have the roles and responsibility of, or understanding of the role of all the team members, including your Scrum Master and yeah, Gaurav, we move to another slide. Yeah, okay, thank you. So starting with the Scrum Master, I need 4. See, why we do this, first of all, I have to explain that we want all of you to be engaged in the process, and that's why we recommend you, or we ask you to read. So take this opportunity and feel free to read out. Okay. So can 4 different people who read already, read out the 4 points from product owner, please? Yeah, taking the opportunity. Why so much time? Please go ahead.
Okay, Scrum
Yeah.
role briefing.
No need to ask. May I just, you can just keep reading. If somebody is also there, they can read the next point and we can go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, Scrum Master removes all impediments.
Can you please start? Can you please start with product owner? Yeah, if you don't mind.
Product owner, okay.
Yeah.
Product owner conveys the vision of the stakeholder to the team.
Thank
Can
you. Next point. Yeah.
The second one is can alter the scope.
Perfect. Next.
Responsible for the return on investment, ROI.
Uh-huh.
That is why they occupy any
Occupy
authoritative authoritative position in the firm.
Perfect. Next.
Not only with the team, but also communicates with the stakeholders about the progress and
Problems. Okay, thank you so much. So can you understand from these four sentences which are dedicated for product owner? One of the main important point in this is, along with the others, is can alter the scope. Okay. Now, when I say this, it is a very I would say important authority / power given to the product owner, and only product owner has that. What do you understand when I say can alter the scope? What does it mean, altering the scope? Any thoughts on this? I want to know what is your thought.
What
Yeah,
must be included in the project, like the must?
any changes they required in product.
Changing the requirements or
okay, what has been committed, and then after that they have asked for it. So,
Yes. So I'm really glad you all do understand this. See, in an organization or for any particular project, it's not a child's play, or it's not so easy that you just go and tell them, okay, we will do this and we will not do this for a project, because everything is properly documented, signed, agreed upon, contract, it's under contract. So altering the scope or altering or changing the scope or parameters of requirements is a very important task. Okay. And it is not a daily task that every day you go and say, okay, we will not develop this or we will not work on this. No, because that is not a professional way. But then there are scenarios when there is a time constraint, budget constraint, or there is something which is not feasible. Like, I always like to say in this manner that customers want stars and moons. Okay. As in, sometimes they're so unrealistic that maybe in such a small budget they might need some functionality which is very expensive to be developed, or which would require maybe 2 to 3 months for development, and we definitely do not have that much time in Agile. So what happens in such scenarios? Okay, like, if you get a client and they are just adding and adding more requirements, though we have limited time, but they want us to develop more or deliver more. See, as a customer bonding process, as as you call that, give them free cookies, or just to ensure that they're happy with us, we do provide them some features, which are within our budget and timeline. But then there are times when customers really go haywire and they ask for a lot of stuff, and which will not be just, it just seems impossible and impractical given the budget and given the timeline. So product owner has the authority, and that's why the word is mentioned, authority. He has the authority to ensure that, okay, we will do that. And that is again, to emphasize, it's not that he is the only person. He will go and say this. Definitely he will talk to a scrum master. He will check with the development team, because that is the way they understand that is it doable or not, right? See, Scrum product owner is at a very high level. He has so much of other work, like talking with senior management and customers, and dealing with day in day out. So it's not the case that every day he might be able to sit with the development team the way Scrum Master does. Scrum Master is very connected to the development team. Okay, but then when these kind of situation occurs, he ensures that he discusses with the team. He understands what is the scenario, and then, no, if it is not doable, not feasible, not practical. And then he'll go back to the customer and say, as a team or as a project team, we have come to this conclusion that this will not be, this cannot be a part of this, or this is not feasible. Not, we don't say cannot, we say it's not feasible. So even if if you're giving us additional timelines, or we can have this in next sprint, or if you're any additional budget provided for this, because see, sometimes when I have been working as a project manager, there are many things to consider when we complete a project or we do a project, like budget, resources, timelines, softwares, or whatnot, feasibility. So these are some of the points. So all these things, he is the one who would communicate and ensure. But then again, please remember this: in a Scrum team, it's never an individual decision. Everybody is always consulted. So it's a very small team, very focused team, very highly skilled team. So everyone knows what they are working on and they are connected to everybody. I have given so much of importance to this point because it ensures that they can alter the scope, they have the authority, and they, as a product owner, he or she communicates or talks or has discussion with all the stakeholders. What is stakeholders will come as a dedicated topic, which is a very interesting one. But as of now, just understand, stakeholder means a person or a group of people who has a stake or interest in your project. Okay, so whosoever is involved in your project, it can be some different team members coming as a supporting resources, or your higher senior management who is interested in how this project goes, so what kind of profits we make, or if this project goes well, there can be other similar projects in pipeline from other clients. So yes, many people are involved in the project. So those are your stakeholders. So as a product owner, he communicates with all the stakeholders, and then he is the one who shares the latest update to all these stakeholders. That's one of the important, I would say, activities or responsibilities of his. And then the main important point is he is responsible for the return on investment. That means the project that we are doing or we are working on has to be ensured, because it's a profit making organization. If we are working in NGO, we don't talk about all these things, because it's a business. He has to ensure that there is a return on investment. That means whatever efforts we are putting in, we are able to reap benefits or profits out of it, right? In business, it's always about profits, because if an organization doesn't make profit, how are they going to pay salaries? How are they going to grow, right? So it's business. Definitely they mean profit. They need whatever you are putting in that project, we'll have to get it back from customer in the form of project charges or project code or whatever, the actual monetary part. So though it is little heavy to understand, because we don't talk about these things on daily basis, but then try to think about product owner as a senior authority who has lot of responsibilities, a lot of authority and lot of decision making power. But then again, this is all done with the collaboration of the team. Okay, no one is here work in silos, work alone. No, they want everybody's participation and they work accordingly. Okay, so I've given ample of time for this role. Still, anybody has any doubts, please feel free to ask, or we can go to Scrum Master. Any doubts in product owner? Yeah. No, thank you so much. But by the way, if we go along and if you feel like asking something, feel free. It's not that once the slide is gone, then you cannot ask questions. So maybe as you are digesting this all information, you might come across some doubts or something, and those are absolutely fine. So can we move?
I have a question, Brenda. Yeah, product owner is the it's the development team or Scrum team member. Yeah, definitely he will be the Scrum team member. So he is from the client side or he is from the development team side person.
He's from the organization, as in he's from your company. Okay, he is from the team. He's a part of the
Okay.
entire team, entire Scrum team, or whatever you call it. See, basically, there are many parties involved. So, product owner, Scrum master, and development team, all these things, all these people or team members are from your organization who is working on that project. Okay, and in case there are people involved from customer side, they are also mentioned as customers spokes or customer point of contact or stakeholders. Okay, so they don't have a dedicated name given to them, but from yes, people who work from organization, from company, from project, they one of them is called as product owner, and they have a 360 degrees view, so they have a very top level view with lot of authority of what not to include, how to work, and then there are uh, other roles that we will explain now. Okay.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
very close to client side, right?
he or she is not close, she's connected to client, connected to higher management, connected to team, so everyone. See, because it's like if I tell you the principal of your college or school, okay? So that principal is connected to the educational authorities. That principal knows a lot of other principals or other schools, personally. That principal knows what is happening in your entire school, not only in your batch. So that is how it is. And the reputation of the school is on that principal's shoulder. Decision making power is on. So I always give this comparative example that product owner is like a school principal who is like a head of the school, and Scrum master is like your class teacher, and you Scrum team is like like a classroom. So you see with whom you interact daily as a student, with principal or with the class teacher.
Class teacher.
Okay. Whom you go to for your daily queries, principal or the class teacher?
Class teacher.
Okay, but then in case if there are any uh, big decisions to be made, like you want to go for, you're selected for an inter-school competition, state level competition, or something bigger, then whom the Scrum Master would reach out to?
Principal.
Along with you? Principal. Yeah, see, principal, product owner. It's really simple. Absolutely. Now, do you get the algebra of it?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, got it.
Yeah,
Thank
easy to correlate. Same way. See, that doesn't mean that product owner will not be aware. Product owner will always know who are the top students or who are the not so top students. They will have they will have an understanding of that. But that doesn't mean they'll come and talk to you on daily basis, because they have supervisors, they have other class, they have other things that work for school, to take care of. So same way, product owner is not asked or is not expected to be in every team meeting every day, because they do have a lot of other work to do. But whereas a class teacher, he or she is supposed to take your attendance, he or she is supposed to ensure that your leaves are sanctioned, or your assignments are complete. So imagine the connection between you and the Scrum Master or the teacher, class teacher. It's so close, right? So you're discussing on daily basis, you're talking to them, you're taking guidance in case of any doubt. So same way, exactly similar fashion. And by the way, along with you, the teacher would also have some dedicated time with the principal, just to give an update, right?
Yeah.
So can you see
Yeah.
here, as a Scrum Master, it is like a bridge between the product owner and the Scrum team. Makes
Yes.
sense?
Yes.
Yeah, got it.
Yes, thank you so much. So this is a very easy to understand comparative example where what roles they are playing as an individual, and how the things flow. Okay. Okay. So Scrum Master, I need three different people to read out the three different points, please.
Removes all impediments and hindrance to achieve goals.
Thank you. Next point.
Enforced to organize Scrum ceremonies and processes to commit to goals and deadlines on behalf of the team.
Okay, thank you so much. So here, if you see, first of all, the very important point is removes all impediments and hindrance to achieve goals. That simply means while working on the project, if development team has any doubts, any issues or any roadblocks, so in that case, Scrum Master is the first go-to person for them, and he or she ensures that all the doubts, all the hindrances. See, now, if I have to give you an example, doubts and hindrances, maybe we want to work on some functionality and we realize that, okay, we need an additional software to develop that functionality. It happens, okay? Because especially if you're working with Microsoft, they have so many new versions on monthly basis or quarterly basis. You have to keep upgrading. This is how they earn, right? So you have to keep upgrading the software, or sometimes, you have to learn many new different things. So in such a scenario, the team goes to Scrum Master and says, hey, we require this software, we don't have it. Okay, so now you might think, what's a big deal? You might get a software and done with it. No. In an organization, procuring a new software which is not there is like a very nice lengthy process. You have to get it approved first from so many seniors, and ensure you have budget, and you have to check the vendors, and get the quotations. I mean, there are many process involved. So all these things have to be done. So they might seem like a task, like one simple thing to get a software, but no, it's not that simple. You will have to get all these things done, and that those are done by Scrum. Okay, so you see, this is one simple example I'm trying to give you for Scrum Master. But then there are some other tasks. It can be the case that you need some developer or some resource who is expert in that technology, and then as a team you do not have that kind of person in your team. Okay, and it happens many a times. There are resources who are, I would say, engaged in some other technologies, or they're expert, like the way we call them architect. There are some people who are architect in an organization. They are like the you know very knowledgeable, very experienced. But then in case you might not have that person or that team member in your team, then what do you do? As a Scrum Master, you'll have to check in the organization who is the person suitable for your project. Ensure that that person gives you some time, or you can tag that person to that project. Okay, this is a lingo that they use. So tagging a resource to a project, that means you want that person for some time for your project. Okay, and you have to, and then it is not so easy, because generally architects are very tied up and they're very busy in different projects. So this is some of the real life, I would say, impediments that occur in a project, and as a Scrum Master you have to face them, or you have to ensure that the team is not suffering because of all these problems. Okay, and ultimately when you do and when you work on all this, you ensure that your deadlines are complete. So you understood some scenario, how Scrum Master is important, or what kind of role he or she plays. Any doubts in Scrum Master role?
No.
Yeah. No. No. Anything feels that they want to learn more about them? No. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes. So see, I understand this is the first session. As and when you go ahead, you will learn more about these roles for sure. But then, as of now, just try to understand, what every individual does. So last but not the least, Scrum team, and I really need different people to read the different points, please. So I understand everybody's awake and everybody's involved. Yeah, thank you.
Does all that lead team towards their sprint goal?
Work with the Scrum Master to prioritize the items from the product backlog in the sprint plan.
Not a Scrum Master organizes them, it is self-organized.
Need to attend every stand-up and other ceremonies.
They have to participate in all the meetings despite their nature and have to ensure that all the findings of the meetings are getting practically addressed in the project.
Yeah, thank you so much for reading it out. Now, can you see there are so many activities for this team? As in, you went one by one, there are multiple, right? So here, the first line is very important, and it states that they have to do everything that is important to achieve the sprint goal. Okay. Now, everything simply means they have to ensure that their development is on point, is as per the schedule. They are working uh, as per the committed timelines or deadlines to the customer. So that's why it is mentioned that does all that lead them towards the sprint goal. So you may ask, what is a sprint goal? Okay. So while in the earlier discussion, I was saying that, okay, if there are some additional requirements, we might take them into next sprint. So basically, sprint is a terminology used for a duration of a time. That means, if you want to complete one project, I would, or one part of the project, you can take a sprint, or you can consider a sprint of 4 to 6 weeks. So basically, it simply means duration, but we call them as a sprint. And generally, in every project, we have a similar sprints. Like, we would say, if a project is of, say, 1 year, okay? So what we do, we will break that project in multiple sprints. So assuming a sprint is for 8 weeks, generally it is 4 to 6 weeks. I'm just giving for hypothetical example just to ensure that I can cut it into 6 sprints. So 8 weeks of sprint, that means 2 months. And then that way, within 6 months, we can complete the project. So that will be 6 sprints for that project. Do you understand this? What is a sprint?
Yes.
Yeah, it's basically just duration, but but calling it that, it's very good because we can always refer, okay, this is going to be developed in this sprint or first sprint. Okay, this functionality is going to be developed in third sprint, things like that. So this is how we understand how we are progressing. Or if there is something pending from the earlier sprint, then we call it, okay, this is a backlog of the sprint one. So it's easier to call it that way. It's easier to refer, it's easier to understand. That's why we call it as a sprint.
Is there any unit for the sprint, like a week, two, or
Yes,
any
I
we
said,
can make it?
yeah, that, yes, absolutely. It's generally 4 to 6 weeks. Generally, it depends. Okay, in some
Alright.
company they do also have a 2 week sprint, but that is practically very small. 2 weeks is basically 10 working days, 10 into 8, 80 hours, which is very tough. So might be for a smaller project, but ideally it's 4 to 6 weeks, depending organization to organization. The ideal time is generally 4 weeks. That's like a month.
4.
So
Okay.
four working
4 week is
weeks.
one
So
sprint.
yeah, generally, I'm saying it
Generally.
depends on organization. 4 to 6 weeks. Some even go for 2 weeks, but then 4 to 6 weeks is an ideal time because you get at least a month to work on something. It's not a child's play, right? You have to ensure what is the requirement and who is going to do what. A lot of interaction with the customer. So many things
And
involved in the project.
who defines the sprint for that project? Like it will be 4 weeks or 6 weeks
All these
product.
things, yeah, very good question. All these things are done before the project starts, especially during the project kickoff meeting. Project kickoff meeting is the first meeting that happens before the
Alright.
project starts, and in that, this is kind of decided with collaboration of everyone. So
Okay.
customer development team, the scope of the project. See, if the project is very complex, imagine you're working on a spaceship or a rocket kind of, that research level project. There are like, ISRO for a NASA or for any other spaceship organization, maybe Tesla and things like that. So they might have something very complex and that comes to your company. So you would know that, okay, it is going to take me minimum 6 weeks time for at least some part of the work, right? Then you would say, okay, we wouldn't, this is recommended. And then as the customer agrees, we understand. But then imagine if you have elementary school, some website or something very simple or easy, or that's like a routine job of that company, so they can say, okay, we can have a 2 week sprints because it's a small project, it's a simple project, right? So depending on the complexity, depending on the delivery, depending on the uh, things involved to be worked upon, this is how it is decided. Make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you. So here, see, as a team member, by the way, one point which is not mentioned in this product owner point, which is related to this, I'll mention here. So we do have all the work items mentioned, and those are maintained by product owner. And then whatever I just mentioned, right, that there are some things pending from the earlier sprint, so that is called as product backlog. So product backlog, which items to be taken, from the earlier sprint, what to be worked upon, all these things, all the priority team discusses with the Scrum Master. Now you may ask, why Scrum Master? Why not product owner? Because product owner is not readily daily available for every meeting, though he will be there, he or she will be there for the important discussions. But as a Scrum Master, because he or she is very closely working with even product owner, they know what is the urgency or what is the requirement. So they know what is the ask of the customer, and accordingly they prioritize the things and they share that with the team members. Make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. So now this is a very important point, the third point, that nobody organizes or manages that team. The team is self-organizing. Now, what does that mean? Okay. When imagine when you had a baby or a toddler, how much time you had to invest in managing them. Managing them means ensuring they're sitting at one place, ensuring they're eating fine, feeding them, taking care of them. But the same child of yours, when they become, like a teenager, or maybe, some 12, 15 years, how self-reliant they become. They know they'll kind of ensure that their backpack is properly filled with the subjects of that day for that school. They dress themselves, they'll comb their hair, they'll be doing so many things on their own, right? So this is the difference. As a general team, they have to be guided and directed and told. But this team, as we already mentioned, is so highly skilled. They are so focused in their work that they know what has to be done. And then they don't need anyone to direct them all the time. Though in case there are any doubts and impediments, they need some solutions, they will definitely check with the Scrum Master. But then as a team, because they're so skilled and so experienced, so seasoned, they don't need to be managed. See, when you're responsible enough, you know what you have to do. Nobody will come and tell you or tells you, or rather you might not even like it to an extent, because you can always say that, yes, I am, I'm aware of my duties, I'm aware of my responsibilities, I'm aware of my work, and I can do this. So that is the scenario where we don't tell them what to do. They know what has to be done, and they work accordingly. So that is why it's called as self-organizing. We don't have to organize them. Okay. So next point is need to attend every stand-up and other ceremonies. So this is a very important point, that there are many ceremonies involved in this process. So those are like stand-up meetings and project review, project retrospective. Many other events are mentioned. So in those events, Scrum team has to be there. And stand-up meeting is a very exclusive or a dedicated, I would say, meeting happens at every day, whenever a team everybody comes in and there's a dedicated time, and it's called as stand up because everybody actually stands in that meeting. Okay, so it's not like your classroom or your boardroom meeting where everybody comes and sits and it's going for hours. No, It's a very brief meeting when everyone will join, and mostly Scrum Master is there, and there are three questions that needs to be answered in that team. First is, what did you work in the earlier 8 hours? That means what did you work earlier day? Second is, what are you going to work in the upcoming next hours? Matlab, what is your work plan for today? And the third and important question is, are there any hindrances or issues that needs to be addressed or mentioned? So what did you work on? What are you going to work on? And if there are any problems, please share. This is the nature of this meeting. And why this is the nature of this meeting? Because as a team, everybody understands, like, as we mentioned earlier, there is a tester, there is a scrum master, there is a developer, there is a BA. So everybody knows what other team member is working on. And many a times it happens that a developer maybe there might be someone who is less experienced, that they're facing some issue, and they explain that, okay, I'm facing this issue. And then if there is any architect, they'll say, oh, I'm aware of this thing, I can provide you a solution, let's catch up after this meeting. So you get this point, why this meeting is important, because everybody knows, even the testers are aware that what developers are working on, and they can soon start working on their test cases, and they can get their work going. So this is why this stand-up meeting and these ceremonies are very important. And as a Scrum team, everybody has to attend them every day. Okay, makes sense? Any doubts in this? Yes. Yeah. Thank you. And the last point was, I think, missing, Gaurav, if I'm not wrong. Yeah. No, I think I've taken that. So despite this, nature, everybody gets answered what is their doubts, and everything. And that is why all these ceremonies and meetings are important. Yeah. Gaurav, would you like to take this slide, please?
Yeah, definitely. So yes, thank you so much. So we have something grayed out, right? Do you see that four pictures, okay, in a role? One is representing product owner, one is Scrum Master, one is Scrum team. What is this gray? So gray is the one which is really important, a stakeholder, okay? So we'll be talking about it. So once again, I want someone to just read out a first check for me.
The stakeholder has to keep healthy relationship with the product owner in order to share every detail regarding the product.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you so much for reading this out. Yes, this is quite obvious, right? It should not happen that, because see, the thing is that it's always about request accommodation. Every time we can't bill customer, or every time customer can't afford to get billed, or, some minor things can be accommodated. Definitely, the customer should be, open enough to share with the product owner, or product owner should be open enough to listen to the customer. See, it's not about short-term relationship. It's always about the long-term relationship. Why long-term relationship? Because, in long way, we have to establish a relationship so that cash flow will continue to go on and remain in flow from where one project has appeared. Imagine if you are doing a business, what would you prefer? Customer coming once and never coming back, or one customer coming again and again and again, and along with that referring your services to others? What would you do, first or second? Second, of course, second one. And for that, you are a seller, customer is a buyer, customer is stakeholder. It's all about the way you serve him. Okay, and that's the reason it becomes more critical about your relationship. You being product owner, it has to be always healthy relationship, so that the relationship can go long way when it comes to cash flow, because ultimate thing is that cash flow over here in this relationship, and of course the kind of and quality of services you provide back. So can someone read out the second check?
The stakeholder is responsible for conveying his wishes and concerns to the product owner, or else the product owner would not be responsible for his project quality and time duration.
Exactly, and that's right. See, the ultimate agenda behind is that what kind of services client is using or product client is using. It it should create a legacy. And if an organization has such a warrior in place, when I say warrior, it's been literally such mission owner in the place working in the organization, they can create such delivery, they can create such, product or services for the client, so that in return client can continue to refer them. And it can only happen when client is open enough to continue to give the feedback openly, and product owner is open enough to receive the feedback openly and accommodate that frequently. So, and remember, how it can happen. It can only happen if the stakeholders are continuously conveying what they expected, what are the concerns with the current delivery and quality and the time duration which had been taken to develop and deliver the current piece of requirement or current piece of services or product or the information. So is it clear for everyone when it comes to stakeholder relationship with the product owner so far?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. So who can read the third check?
The
I can read.
stakeholder has to provide regular input to queries from the product owner.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's not only that once you have taken the requirement and then you are getting into, complete exile and then delivering back after certain time what customer had required. It's all about two-way communication, what's going on, where you are, and what we can expect from you, what kind of delay is anticipated. Every single thing, if you are providing, you can anticipate what is happening, you will always find connected. Imagine you as a vehicle owner has given your vehicle for servicing to a garage, okay? And what happens the moment the work has started, and you are getting SMS that, hey, your wonderful car is now at our place, the work has started and will continue to go on. Within a 1 hour we are going to give you further update. So just hold for a moment. I'll be speaking out in a 30-second. Give me 30 seconds. And such updates you will continue to receive after 1 hour, that what is going on with your vehicle until your vehicle is delivered. How would you feel as a customer? Will you feel good or bad?
Good.
Good, every one of you, or only one person? It's the question is to everyone. Will you feel good or
Yes,
bad?
we feel good. Yeah.
Yes,
You will
good.
feel
Yeah,
good,
good.
right? So imagine such kind of relationship. Yeah. So if the customer or stakeholders are not open enough to give you regular input, it means, guys, if you are a product owner, start working in this direction, that how to develop such a relation that customer himself is in communication with you. The stakeholders are already in communication with you. See, no communication is also part of communication. If customer is not at all they are getting in touch, it means somewhere you need to raise your bar in customer service, so that stakeholders should feel like your companionship. Okay, it's all about if they are not feeling anything, it means somewhere you are lagging, right? uh, you can't expect that if there is no communication means everything is going good. You should start being concerned. Okay, why it is not keeping stakeholders on toes, why customers are not excited themselves to be in communication with you. So these are few traits which you can sense or you can introspect, so that your relationship with the stakeholder will continue to get nurtured in a way that you can expect more services from your customer, even though if you don't get, the relationship goes so long that you will be communicated about it. Is it clear to everyone what I said about stakeholders? Okay, so who can read the fourth one?
Prioritizing the work effectively with the product owner is another job that stakeholders has to ensure his project development.
Yeah. So remember that every single time, even though I'm talking about when you heard me, when you joined at the start point, you heard about from me, you heard about one very important thing. It was about a big portion of requirement getting sliced into small requirement. Did you hear that, everyone?
Yeah.
Yeah, remember? And what happens, even though you have sliced them down in a small requirement, a certain piece of requirement has to be aligned with the time duration in which it can be delivered. Okay, so we check what, we have to perform a strength check. We have to perform a capacity check. In which time duration, how many small pieces of requirement can be delivered. Even though if we are delivering in a small time interval, we have to keep on checking one thing. What is the most important? Yeah, what is the most important piece of requirement which will add value to customer services, your customer services, to impact their customer? Is it making some sense to you?
So we'll give priority to that.
Yeah. So all the time when this kind of intention are there in place, then the prioritizing happens. And when this prioritizing game happens, actually, we call it as a sprint planning meeting. We will be talking about more in detail in coming days. But for now, you understand what is the most important value of this prioritizing work. Okay. Clear to everyone? Everyone with me so far? Say yes.
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 Yeah. Thank you. So the fifth one, who can read this?
I can
Keep
do that.
taking
Keep
updates.
taking updates. Oh,
Mhm.
sorry.
Go ahead.
Keep taking
taking
updates or keep giving updates regarding any change in the plans.
Yeah, so far you have now understood, right? Because you were understanding the importance of product owner, you have been understanding the importance of stakeholders, their job and communication and relationship. Here it goes, the last check that says that keeping and keep giving and taking updates from each other. Okay, in case any change in the plan from either of the party based on upon your relationship can be accommodated. Let me ask you this question. Can it be possible that you have prioritized your work due to some unforeseen reason? What happens that uh, you happen to delay on a delivery of a piece of work? May it happen? You are getting some delay because of some reason. Now, it may happen that you are seeking some information from customer and customer delayed on that. Yeah, it may happen as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in case customer's information is coming late to you, it may happen customer may say, I am the boss. I mean, ego factor may play over here. I am the boss. Let me decide when to give you the information. That is number one scenario. Number two scenario that okay, you have given me work. It doesn't mean that you have bought me. Sometime delay you have to consider. So these are the different attitude. Okay, but when you work in harmony, when you work in partnership, and you can anticipate a day of delay, or a delay of an hour or so can be accommodated. So here means that, see, based on this relationship you can definitely accommodate. Otherwise everything has to boil down towards the budget, everything has to boil down towards the funding. So to avoid such circumstances, it's always advisable to product owners to be in the best relationship with the stakeholders, so that you are not losing any information receiving from the stakeholder. You are not losing and giving any update to stakeholder in timely manner. Okay, so these are the small things I think uh, a product owner and stakeholder has to consider into the picture. So is it clear that how this role is very important, even if you are stakeholder, or if not, what you can expect from stakeholder as a product owner? And for that, some unsaid education should be given. When you develop a relationship, you can definitely convey the message to stakeholder, hey, we are in a long-term relationship, we can expect these things from you, and eventually your customer or stakeholder will agree with you. And stakeholder comes not only just a customer, but also the sponsors of customers. So even their message, even their concern, and even their expectation can be communicated to you directly. You as a product owner, it can be communicated to you from the stakeholders, from the customer, or even from sponsor, depending upon the kind of relationship you have developed and maintained with the party. Is it clear to everyone how important these traits are as a stakeholder or product owner?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, is it
Yeah.
clear to everyone? Say yes, everyone. You
Yes.
can unmute yourself.
Yes.
Thank you so
Yes.
much. Having said so, let's quickly understand the Scrum framework. Okay, so how many of you remember the example last time I gave you of the loaf of the bread and slice of it?
Yes.
Yes, we do remember.
Yes.
You all
Yes.
remember? Thank you. Thank you so
Yes.
much. I'm glad that you all remember. See, here I was just talking about the various events. Okay, I just now touched base the sprint planning. Do you remember just in earlier slide I was talking about sprint planning?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So we will touch base here what exactly happens and when it happens. So when the bigger portion of requirement are being sliced into the smaller piece of requirement, that is the time when you are planning something. We call it as release. What you will release to the customer at what time, based on the time frame you have received from the customer, and you understood the anticipation of the customer, when what will be the time interval in which customer is expecting some output from you. Okay, and to that we call it as a release planning. Okay, but when certain set of requirement pulled in a meeting, okay, pulled in a meeting, and we discuss what to give on the priority basis to customer. Okay, we discuss that priority in a meeting that we call it as a sprint planning meeting. Is it clear? Say yes, everyone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yes.
but in sprint planning, whatever the pieces of requirement came together and we are planning to deliver that, that is called as sprint backlog. However, for what we have done the release planning, the entire set of the requirement together is called as product backlog items. What this is called as?
Product backlog.
Product backlog.
Yeah, product backlog items, or in abbreviation PBIs. What is abbreviation?
PBIs.
PBIs. Yeah, you need to remember this. Okay, you need to remember when it comes to Agile Scrum, Scrum values, Agile values, and Agile principle, and everything else. These things you need to remember, and these things are easy for you to remember, like product backlog items and how it gets converted into sprint backlog item when you just prioritize some piece of requirement to be delivered immediately. Okay. So when it is pulled in the sprint planning meeting are called as sprint backlog item. Clear so far, everyone?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now what happens? Now you have decided for next 4 weeks. See, ideal time is 1 to 4 weeks. Okay. Prerna was talking 4 to 6 weeks. So 6 weeks came into the picture when Kanban framework becomes most authentic one, and became foolproof for few of the project delivery. Right? So there 6 weeks are ideal to consider, because ultimately 30 days of work, 1 month of work in which you can deliver certain things. However, since the ancient agile time from 2000, from the year 2000, it has been taken into consideration. It can be anywhere from 1 week to 4 weeks. Now it has been up to customer what they are willing to decide, whether in 1 week they will continue to deliver something and then in next week they will start a new sprint, or they are going to consider sprint means time duration for 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 4 weeks. Okay, based on this pre discussion or preset preset format and prior experiences and prior trends, they decide for how long one sprint will go, and in that sprint they will decide to deliver how much pieces of the requirement, and then they will freeze that time duration, and everyone is ready in that time duration to continue to deliver some sort of work. Okay, so it could be
So
anything
sprint is
from one
decided by
week
the
to 4 weeks. Okay, so yes, someone is asking something, please.
yeah, the sprint customer has to decide like how many weeks they want, or it's
Yeah,
the team decides.
customer and vendor come together and they decide
They
what is
decide.
the frequency in which they want to get small pieces of requirement to be delivered. So it has to be agreed with customer and a vendor. Vendor can tell them that, hey, in our organization, we have trained of delivering you within 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 4 weeks, or because we are considering the Kanban, we can freeze it up to 6 weeks. Although 6 weeks has been recent trend when we combined Scrum and Kanban together and it becomes Scrum One framework. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes.
Yeah. So
Yep.
ideal trend had been 1 to 4 weeks. You will find anyway from 2 to 4 weeks has been really standard and ideal. Okay, time duration. Now, when every single day you are working towards delivering something, okay, for 4 weeks, but don't you think that you should get updated what's going on? Like I gave you the example of you receiving SMS when you are leaving your vehicle in the garage. It made you really great. It made you feel really great. What about when you are on the verge of delivering something and you are not getting informed what is going to happen and what has happened, and means what sort of work? If there is no communication, don't you feel that nothing is happening at all? Don't you come into this feeling that even though you have set everyone into the work and you are imagined as a facilitator of the entire project, and no one is coming back communicating to you that was going on and what not going on, and you are left to just assume, don't you feel that something is missing?
Yeah, we become anxious.
We will become anxious, and you need to have get updated upon the progress. And for that very reason, every single day Prerna was talking about 3 things. What did you do in last 8, what you're planning to do in the next 8 hours, and any problem are you facing? These 3 things you keep on talking, and when you talk for 15 minutes, we call it as a daily scrum. What do we call it as?
Daily scrum.
Daily scrum.
Daily Scrum.
It is also known as stand-up meeting.
Stand-up.
Yeah.
Yes.
What it is called as?
Stand-up.
Stand-up meeting.
Stand-up meeting. Okay, great. So this is stand-up meeting, goes for 15 minutes, and then happens something where for 4 weeks you have prepared and you are ready to give a demonstration to your client. And when you give the demonstration to your client, then that meeting or that ceremony is called as what?
Sprint review.
Sprint review.
Sprint review.
Exactly. It is called as sprint review meeting. And then comes, now customer is ready and he's giving you high five. Hey, great job. You have done fantastic job. You can deliver this piece of requirement to our environment and we are going to happily receive it. Now, your first sprint is delivered, now you must think one thing, okay? And what those should be the thing. So as a scrum master, you will organize an event, and in that event you will discuss few things. What did go well, really go well in the last sprint? What could have been improved in the last sprint, and what did not go well? So these three things you just in a healthy manner you discuss with your team, take a note out of it, and whatever outcome has come in this meeting, you are planning to revisit that, or you are planning to include that in the next sprint. So whenever this discussion happen, that we call it as a, can
Sprint,
someone,
sprint
Sprint
retrospective.
retrospect.
yeah, sprint retrospective.
Retrospective.
Yeah, retrospective has two words, retro and inspection. So that brings retro inspection. It means retro means past, inspection means you are getting into the discovery mode. When you are discovering the past and you are just postmortem, doing a postmortem on it, then you come with the insight and ahas that, okay, these things you can try to implement. So is it clear? This framework is clear? Very easy to understand, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
super, amazing. I'm glad that you could understand it. So when this happens, let's understand something very beautiful, okay? Because we have just now touched base about the meeting, so we call it as something which is very interesting. What do we call it to these meetings, everyone?
Ceremony.
Ceremony.
Ceremony, yes. And that ceremony does not happen without any purpose. Okay. There is a purpose behind it. Who will attend it? You must know. And there are some tips and tricks about it. So I want one volunteer. This time I am going to name that volunteer. Okay. So can I call someone's name? Everyone is ready to hear one name. And I would
Yes.
request you to read this.
Gaurav,
Okay.
can we just have a look at the time? I think we are.
Oh, yes, yes. Thank you so much.
Yes, welcome.
Thank you so much. So yeah, so we will definitely do this next time. And we have just now touched the end of the time. And thank you so much, Prerna, for reminding this. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to quickly ask you whether you understood it well or not. So to whom should I ask? Okay, Mahendra took the attention from me. So Mahendra, what do you feel like saying, sir?
Yeah, it was very good. It was very nice. In fact, parallelly, I was working my work also. I did not pay much attention, but yes, it was good because we discussed like we have just touched the Scrum ceremonies, but then we started Scrum events, stakeholders, then Scrum roles we did, then benefits of Scrum was the last class, then benefits of Agile we have started with Agile manifesto. So it was good class
Amazing.
overall. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing. Please call out someone's name on the screen, you see.
I'll go with Ashish Saxena.
Okay. Ashi, what do you feel like saying, Ashi?
Thank you, Mahendra. The class was very nice. The contents are very informative and valuable. Thank you so much. It was an excellent session.
Amazing. Please call out someone's name on the screen.
Desdemona.
Desdemona. Yes, Desdemona, what do you feel like saying?
Thank you, Ashi. It was an interesting learning again today, and concepts are getting more clearer.
Awesome. Please call out someone's name on the screen.
Nirmal.
Nirmal. Yes, Nirmal, what do you feel like saying?
Yeah, it was very informative, very interesting, and we are getting more clear view of everything. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing your feeling. So, Nirmal, please call out someone's name on the screen.
Harshita?
Harshita. Yes, Harshita, what do you feel like
Thank you,
saying?
Nirmal ji. It was very interesting. Yeah. As a non-technical person, I'm getting into it. It is very good. And it is in very simple language, which everyone can understand. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, Prerna ji and Gaurav sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Harshita. Please call out someone's name on the screen, and we are glad that you are able to understand being non-technical person. Yes, Harshita,
Yeah,
please call.
Thank you. Next, I think Mamta.
Mamta. Yes, Mamta, it was your day one. What do you feel like saying?
Last 5 minutes.
Yeah, hi.
Yes, Mamta, please go ahead. What do you feel like saying?
Yeah, it was the first day for me, but yeah, it was very clear, and the way you taught, that was literally good, awesome, you and Prerna. So I'm not feeling any difficulties to understand what you taught.
Amazing. You found it easy. So we are glad about it. The day one, you are in the speed. So great. Mamta, please call out someone's name on the screen. You could see.
Yeah, one second. Give me a moment. Amruta.
Amruta. Yes, Amruta. What do you feel like saying?
Hello, Gaurav.
Yes, yes.
As we are going ahead in the lessons, to getting to know about Scrum as deep, and it's a very interesting session, and it's easy to understand also.
Awesome. You found it interesting and easy to understand. Please call out someone's name on the screen.
Monica.
Monica. Yes, Monica. What do you have to say?
It's easy, and I like the way the PPT slides was framed. As we clearly read it, I can understand what is there in the information and all. I really like this session. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, welcome, Momita. Monica, please call out someone's name on the screen. You need to unmute yourself, but if you're calling someone's name.
Rock.
Rock. Yes, Rock. What do you have to say?
Good evening, everybody. Today's session was very more informative. It was about the benefits of Agile, roles, responsibilities, and roles, responsibilities, and relationship of Agile.
Awesome. And you found it easy to understand?
Yeah, I found it easy to understand all the subject.
Thank you so much.
I have written down also.
Yeah, please call out someone's name on the screen.
Ashi.
Ashi is done.
Done. Okay. Pooja.
Pooja. Yes, Pooja, what do you feel like saying?
Thank you so much for calling out my name. So it's a very nice session with the self-explanatory slides, and both of you are explaining, and it looks very interesting.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
Pooja. Please call out someone's name on the screen.
Yes. Sahita.
Sahita. Yes, Sahita, what do you feel like saying?
Hi, Gaurav. Thank you for the session. I like the session. It was so good, and so the way you explain is good.
Yeah, thank you so much, Sahita. Please call out someone's name on the screen.
Is Desdemona done? Yeah,
yeah, she is.
Nikita?
Nikita,
Yeah.
yes, Nikita. What do you feel like saying?
Yeah, very beautifully explained. So big shout out to you and Prerna ma'am. And it is super easy and simple to understand. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Nikita. Please call out someone's name on the screen.
Gurmeet.
Gurmeet. Yes, Gurmeet. What do you have to say?
Really, it was very nice easy to understand each and everything. But it's also definitely, I would say that it's a very good opportunity for me to remind my previous classes as well.
Thank you so much, Gurmeet. Please call out Prerna's name for closure purpose.
Mamta?
No.
Please call out Prerna's name.
Mamta.
Mamta is done.
Okay. Prerna ma'am.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your genuine and honest feedback. It is really encouraging and motivating for us also. And yes, we are learning the very essential and important topics as of now. And I'm really enjoying your, understanding and your cooperation and involvement in the sessions. So overall, very important topics and awesome sessions. I thoroughly enjoyed. Over to you, Gaurav. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much, everyone. Yes, definitely. It was great to hear from you that you are able to understand. That's the number one thing. Second thing is that in case you have not explored any tools yet, which was the part of assignment last time, please go ahead, do so. In case you don't have any clue which topic I'm talking about, which tool I'm talking about, please go ahead and listen to the earlier recording. There you will understand what all tools I'm talking about. Second, we are going to we are going to see that how many of you could understand it well, how we are going to judge it. In fact, not judge it, but and expect to hear from you once you will give us the summary of this. Okay, so how will you give the summary of this? You understood at the first point when I was explaining you the 6 code of honor, where you agreed to complete the golden quadrant of learning. It gets completed once you summarize it. Okay, and next when we are going to meet? So any idea when we are going to meet next?
Tuesday.
9:30 p.m. EST. Having said so, in case you are first timer over here, on the chat window over here itself, I am giving you one link. Okay, link is this. Okay, link is this in the chat window. In case you have not filled the form, you need to fill this up. So once you will open this form, you will find, once you will click this form, what you will find, if you have already filled in, it will give you message, the form is already filled. If you have not filled in already, you need to fill this up. Is it clear to everyone? Can you see the link in the chat?
Yes.
Please click it. And while you are clicking it, I am ending the session for today. Thank you so much, everyone. Bye-bye. Take care. Good night.
Gaurav?
Yes, Saita.
So the tools you are talking about, like DevOps, Jira, Monday.com, and Trello.
Yes, anyone I wanted you to explore, and I believe one of them you have explored already, right?
Yes.
Yeah, awesome. So Mamta, the link you can grab, just click on that, fill this, and then you will also, every one of you will get the recording by within next 24 hours. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye. Good night.
Thank you, Gaurav.
Bye.
Thank you, Prerna.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prerna. Bye.